Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and it's another one of the challenge videos, just something a bit of fun today I think, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do tomorrow yet, but I am working on the FV-4 review as well, to try and get that one up while I've got this this press account. So I was challenged by, well, obviously, you know, I've said to sort of drop in challenges and what have you, and I'll try and do whichever ones I can, and try and get as many of them done as I can. But this one was, I think it was Destroyers W1997, and that was their YouTube name, and they suggested the KV-2 only using armor piercing or premium armor piercing and using no HE. And for those that are a bit newer to the game, or that, you know, perhaps don't really know about the KV-2, which probably isn't going to be many of you, to be honest. The thing with the KV-2, with the 152mm howitzer, is that its HE is pretty damn good. It's got high pen for HE, massive damage, 86 pen and 910 average damage. And that pen, the 86, isn't really far off what you get on the armor piercing, but obviously the advantage of HE is it, you know, I think there might be extreme circumstances where it will bounce, but I'm not even sure it does at all. But yeah, HE hits. If it hits, it's going to do some damage. The higher the damage of the HE itself, the more it will do. Obviously, if you pen, you do more damage, but even if you don't pen with HE, you will still do damage. But the advantage of, obviously, with the KV-2 is that the damage is that high on the HE that even if you don't pen, you can still, you know, walk away doing a couple of hundred damage quite easily. Whereas, you know, the AP will bounce. The AP has 110 pen on it average, and I think the premium, which is again armor piercing, premium armor piercing, is about 136, I think it is. In fact, I'll just check. Yeah, 136. And I would say that the vast majority of people that use the KV-2, I have seen the odd person that uses the 107mm on it, but I would say the vast majority of people that use the KV-2 will fire almost exclusively HE because of the advantages. Like I said before, when it's top tier, it can be an absolute beast. When it's not top tier, when it's bottom, you do have to work a bit harder. I've had some good games though in the KV-2 in the past, in tier 8 matches, using the HE. You just have to play a bit smarter, try and flank if you can, which isn't easy because it's slow, but you've just got to try and plan ahead a little bit, and, well, hope that RNG is on your side for that match. But this one, this is a tier 8 match, and I think this is the best tier 8 result, or the best sort of bottom tier result that I could get in this. It is obviously a lot harder, because if I'm firing HE, I can kind of just fire, and I know I'm at least going to do some damage, probably blow a track off or whatever, you know, and do some module damage. With the armor piercing, you've really got to aim it better. You've got to try and get around the flanks, and it's just a bit harder. To be honest, this challenge hasn't been as difficult as I thought it was going to be. But you do have to just work that little bit harder, play that a little bit smarter. Difficult on this map, with it being so small. Yeah, I thought that Panther might still be there. I was surprised that I actually penned the front of that Panther with the AP. I really was. It was sort of 50-50, and I was quite thankful that went in orange. It was definitely on my side there. But yeah, it was kind of a bit more difficult on this map because it is a small map and central. It's kind of tricky to flank and get around on people's sides, which is where you really want to be trying to hit them if you're using the AP on this thing. I mean, you do with the HE anyway, but especially with the AP, because like I say, the AP can bounce. So yeah, like I said, not as hard as I thought it was going to be. Still a beast when top tier, and that's what I've got next for you as well. My best sort of top tier result in this, using the using AP ammo. But yeah, not a great deal of difference really. I mean, even with the HE in a tier 8 match, you know, you can average maybe 1,500, 2,000 damage. You've got to be careful. I mean, you've got to try and hit, because you have to stay back because you're bottom tier, and anything sees you 1-2, you know, that's it, you're dead. A couple of hits, done. So you do have to stay back, and obviously that makes it harder because you're less likely to hit things. So, you know, it's not an easy tank to use bottom tier, but you can do it. But yeah, you've just got to work that bit harder when you're using the AP because, well, as I said earlier, you've actually got to try and aim for weak spots, try and get around the side or the rear to put that in, or hopefully you come up against, you know, tanks with paper armour, like Borsig, Waffenträger, you know, CDC, that sort of thing. The advantage, of course, of the armour piercing is that if you hit tracks with HE, generally they'll explode on the tracks, they will knock the tracks off, they'll do a bit of splash damage, but a lot of the time, you know, they won't go through. AP, you know, can go through tracks. Not always, sometimes it gets eaten, like it does with anything, but, you know, they can go through there. And, yeah, that was very close on that Borsig. I've not really done too much. I've got one assisted, which I think is from when I tracked, I don't know if I tracked the Panther, well, I tracked something anyway. And, you know, I've scored a couple of hits myself. I mean, I've not done a lot of damage. I mean, one of them was 700 damage for one hit. That's the thing with the other thing with the armour piercing is it's got less damage. The HE has 910 average. The armour piercing has an average of 700 damage, which is still nice. But I got myself in a situation earlier where I was the last one. I was top tier and I ended up being the last tank alive. I don't know what happened. It sort of got to a point where my team just started getting wiped out, and there's still maybe 4 or 5 tanks left on the enemy team. And if I'd have been in something, say maybe, I'm trying to think, KV-85 possibly, I probably could have come around from that because I'd have had a better rate of fire. The problem with the KV-2 in that situation is its rate of fire, you just can't keep up. Oh, that was so unfortunate that I didn't take him down, but we capped out for the win on that one. But I think that was probably my best bottom tier result, although I did keep losing a lot of money when I was bottom tier because I was having to use the premium armour piercing rather than the standard. But yeah, back to that other match, it just didn't have the rate of fire. You know, I managed to take a couple of them down, but then, you know, once 2 at once showed up, I just didn't have the rate of fire to actually take them out and got taken down myself. But yeah, not too bad in that one. Not the greatest, but like I said before, it was a lot harder in the higher tier matches not using HE than it was in the bottom, you know, when I'm top tier. And this was my best top tier result. And like I said at the beginning, this challenge wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. I'd sort of got it in my head that the armour piercing on this, I mean, it's not great, but I got it into my head that it was really bad, and that I was just going to bounce off most things in it because of the accuracy. You know, it's just going to veer off and just clip them or something. And firing the HE, that would still do the damage. Firing armour piercing, you're going to get a bounce. But yeah, this was quite a nice result, even though, and a bit of a spoiler, it is a loss, a very, very frustrating loss, but it was a loss. But it was a good result, and hopefully you'll enjoy this one. And again, like I said at the beginning, I'm working on the FV-4202 footage for the replays. I'm also working on some of the tier 10 stuff. I'm trying to get footage for those and sort of save it up a bit, so I'm not just inundating, you know, I'm not just constantly putting up footage from this one and, you know, just putting up sort of review after review after review, day after day after day. I'm kind of saving it up a bit, and I'm going to spread it out over the next sort of couple of months. But like I said before, taking advantage of having this press account and having access to all the tier 10s and stuff, try and get as much use out of it as I can, and save up as much footage for sort of future reviews. And you know, when I'm going down like the British heavy line like I did, and the German heavy line now, trying to get some Panzer 7 footage anyway. Back to this is the sort of thing. Now with this one, again, I'm top tier, so I'm not overly concerned. You do have to worry about your rate of fire though, and again, you know, I said that earlier, you've got to worry about that rate of fire in this because it is quite slow, but it's just so funny doing stuff like that. And if I'd have been firing HE actually at him, I probably would have hit those side plates and done splash damage. May have taken him down, might have done enough splash damage because it is weak-sided. I think the way it works with splash is it roughly takes about half the damage off straight away, so that 910 had dropped down to like 455, and then it takes off a certain amount of damage per millimetre of armour it has to get through, I think. It's something like that anyway. I'll have to look it up and sort of check into it properly, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So, you know, there's a chance I would have been able to take him down, but there's a chance that spaced armor on the side would have saved him. So, you know, sometimes there seem to be advantages to using HE in this. Not HE, AP. But I'm still just going to fire loads of HE out of it and just derp everything. It just seems to be, it just seems more fun and a bit better in the in the bottom tier matches, should I say. Now I managed to take down that Churchill as well. I'm up to 4 kills already. 4 shots, 4 kills, which is a nice ratio. And now I've got this little Stuart. Not really doing much damage to me, but it's tracked me. There was a Matilda coming around as well, and again, he's bounced. I think that bounced off my gun mantle. Now, a Matilda, unless he's not fully upgraded, shouldn't really have much problem penning one of these. The gun mantle can be a bit tricky on it, and that seems to be where he hit me, and that's all I'm trying to show. I'm trying to show as little as possible of my tank. Try and keep it moving a little bit so they can't hit one of the flat areas very easily. But it's just hitting stuff, and I'm a bit disappointed I missed that Matilda. Now, is he going to come back? He's not. I was keeping an eye on that Stuart as well, but he's disappeared. I thought he was going to try and come around behind me. So, quite fortunate that he's not. He's actually going after a TD, I think. I can see on the map. But I'm going to go for this Matilda now. Now I've dropped off radar, I don't think I'm going to be able to sneak up on him. I'll probably get spotted 9 mile up, but I'm going to try and get around behind him instead, because he probably expected me to come straight around that corner. I have been spotted, and yeah, he's sort of, as I come round here, he's in the process of turning around. But I'm on this slight angle, can't quite get my gun down fully, but it was just enough to take him down. And it's matches like this where, you know, you just get so much amusement out of the KV-2 when you pop round and just one-shot full health tanks. It is quite funny. Now this is going to be a bit of a dodgy shot. I don't know if I'll be able to hit him, and no, it just went into the building. But if you look at the top of the map, the north of the map, you can see those 2 enemy tanks coming in, and that's why I've just put, you know, defend the base, because we're now down to 3 against the enemies. What's that? 7 tanks. So yeah, we need to get back there, because they could just come into base, start capping, and that would really put the pressure on. In fact, it's now down to 2. Me and I think it's a Bogatir, if I remember rightly. Not a Bogatir. Could be a Bogatir, actually. It's definitely a KV-220. And I've said that it's probably not going to be a KV-220, but I'm pretty sure that that's what I remember it being. And just wait for the aim. You see, with HE, like I say, you can just clip them and you're going to do damage. Sometimes you can just hit the floor next to them and you'll do some damage. With armor piercing, that's not the case, so I did find myself aiming more, or waiting for the aim a bit more. Now I know there's RT in here. That was very lucky. That actually went high, and I don't know if it hit the top of his turret or if it hit the side, but it must have overmatched. But yeah, that was a very lucky shot, and yeah, I did think twice about that. I was going to drop down into the bottom, try and get into those buildings, but then I started taking shots from over there. The first one missed, second one bounced. That one went in though, and he's just popping in and out and keeping us spotted. And I really did not expect that to hit him. That was quite lucky. That was a very dodgy shot, especially for the KV-2. But I was quite pleased that one actually hit him and judged it just right for him popping out. Now, what have we got down here? Well, trying to reduce the numbers a little bit. Oh, just missed. Well, I say just missed the Arl. Missed him by a country mile. That went really wide. I did rush that one a little bit. And there's that Panzer 4H though. He's coming to try and get up here towards me. Oh yeah, the guy in the M4, the M5 Stuart, sorry, sent me a message. I'm not entirely sure if it was a spelling mistake or what, but it says Teens Noob, or Teens Noob. And it could be, I was thinking about it afterwards, it could be that he may have checked out the stats on this one. This being the press account, I've hardly got any battles on it. So, for all appearances, it kind of makes me look a bit like a, you know, it makes it look like a new account. Well, it kind of is a new account, but yeah. I don't know. It could have been just laughing at the sort of teams being noobs. I don't know. But anyway, I don't care. He's dead. I'm not. And I've got 8 kills, so I'm quite happy with that. Oh. Now, this is going to be tricky. I've got to be very careful. Art is at me. But if I can get it through the front, and I did, and it's just left him alive. And I couldn't quite get enough speed to get enough damage on the ram. And he's definitely going to reload before I do. Damn it. Try and sort of angle a bit. Didn't happen. And I got taken down. So yeah, nice result. Unfortunate loss. And sometimes it doesn't matter how much damage you do, how many tanks you take down. It just seems that you're destined to lose. But I came out like 3,500 damage. High caliber, Devastator, a Radley-walters, Top Gun as well. 1,400 blocked. And it's just a shame that the Radley-walters is not on my own account again. But yeah, a bit of a carry there, even if I do say so myself. Well, not really a carry because we lost, but yeah, I did a hell of a lot of damage. But there you go. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've found it as amusing to watch as I did to actually do it. It's really funny one-shotting stuff in that. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with another video for you. So until then, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.